Hello everybody and welcome back to this channel. My name is Naouri Redouane from photomanipulation.com. If you have been following my artworks recently, you may have noticed that every time I work on a scene that involves a lake or a pond that I intend to make or add imperfections. My goal of this is to make the artwork more realistic and to add more details. So without any further ado, let's start with this tutorial. And as you can see, I made my lake, my little pond right here, and I want to make it more realistic. Because as you can see with this environment, there should be some of the leaves of the trees falling above it on the surface of the water. And I will add some algae and some plants. To do that, I have downloaded these textures right here. The first texture is going to be this soil, a forest ground. This one is going to be the algae. This one is plant. And this one here is a grass. All of the textures right here I downloaded from textures.com. I will leave the links in the description down below so you can download it or download something similar. Let's start first with this soil ground. The first thing that I will separate the dirt from all of these woods and all of the other details. To do that, I will click 2 times. I will take this arrow right here and I will move it to the right side like that. Then I will hold Alt and separate the arrows from each other to make the selection more smooth. I will right click on the layer and convert it to smart object. Then I will rasterize it. I will click Ctrl A to select the whole canvas. Then I will click on Ctrl C to copy this image. I will go to my artwork and I will paste it. Next, I will duplicate this texture by clicking and holding Ctrl. Then I will click on the layer till I see this highlighted selection. I will click on Ctrl plus Alt till I see that black and white arrow. Then I will move it many times like that. I will click Ctrl T for free transformation. And what I will try to do here, I will match the perspective of the pond. Now that the perspective is almost matched up, because I don't want to make this tutorial long, you can take your time to match it better. I will duplicate the layer and decrease it to make it small, like that. Now I will merge them together. I will use the mask like this, so it's only showing on the pond. Now, the next step is I will add a new layer. I will click Shift, Ctrl, Alt, E, to merge all of the artwork together. As you can see right here, it's all merged on one layer. Next, I will click on Ctrl A to select the canvas, then go to Filter, Blur, and click on Average. That will give me a color that is the most average color on my artwork. And I will use that color to match the color of the soil, or let's say the imperfections on the ground, by clipping it to the layer. I will turn it to color blending mode. Then I will add a curves adjustment layer. And I want you to remember these steps because it's going to be repeated in this video. And I will take this arrow and I move it to the right side to add, let's say, contrast. Just like that. I will go to the layer of the color and I will decrease the opacity to 50%. Maybe 70. Yeah, 70 is good. Now, it's almost good, it's almost perfect, but what I will do right here, I will give it a cloud texture because it's covering most of the pond. I don't want that. So what to do here is I will apply the mask of the lake. Then I will add another mask. I will go to Filter, Render, and I will click on Clouds. Now, while I'm clicking on the mask, I will click Ctrl M for the curves adjustments. And I will take this arrow to the right side and this one to the left side, just like that. I will add a point in the middle and I will take it down. And that's perfect. You can later click on the mask and decrease the density as much as you like. Now this is it for the first imperfection layer. Next, I'm going to add the algae. For the algae, I'm not going to cut anything. I will just copy it as it is and paste it above the lake. I will move that texture of the lake and apply it to the algae. And I will move the algae and try to match the perspective as I did with the imperfections. For this area right here, I will select the clone stamp tool. I will take a sample on that algae by clicking and holding Alt, then click on the area, and then I will just paint like that. Okay, now that we have added the algae, what I will do, I will first apply the layer mask of the lake, then I will add another layer mask. Next, I will fill that layer mask with the fibers by going to Filter, Render, then click on Fibers. Select a texture that looks like algae on the water. This is looking good. I will click OK. Now I will click and hold Alt and enter the mask. And I will click Ctrl T for the free transformation. Then I will rotate it 90 degrees. I will go back to the image. Then I will click on the mask and try to match the perspective of the fibers like that. Now I will pick a soft brush. Make sure it's soft with 0% hardness, 100% opacity, and 100% flow. Then paint on the edges of the pond. Just like that. Now click on the mask of that algae, then click on Ctrl M for the curves, and let's add contrast. Now apply the mask, then add another mask. While clicking on the mask, go to Filter, Render, and add Clouds. And again, while clicking on the Clouds layer mask, click on Ctrl M for the curves, then add another contrast. Click on the layer mask and decrease the density. Now to blend the color of the algae, what we are going to do is I will duplicate the layer of the color that we made before and clip it to the algae layer. Then I will add a curves adjustment layer, clip it to it. Then I will add contrast. Then I will decrease the opacity of the color layer to, let's say, 50%. This is looking good so far. If you are getting value from this video so far and you want to see more advanced tips and tricks, make sure to get my digital landscape reloaded course. The link is going to be down in the description. And without any further ado, let's continue this tutorial. Now for the next texture is going to be this plants right here. I will cut it by using the blend if, the blue channel, and I will take this arrow to the right side. As you can see, it's taken the middle parts of the plant. So what I will do here, I will duplicate the layer. I will remove the blend if from the bottom layer and I will add a mask to it. Fill it with black, or just click Ctrl I to invert the mask, then paint on the middle parts of the plants. Then I will click Ctrl A to select the canvas, Ctrl C to copy, and I will take it to the artwork. I will convert it to smart objects first. Then I will match the perspective. I will give it a mask of the lake, so it's only applying on the lake. For this one, I'm not going to use a lot of adjustment layers. I will just duplicate the color layer and clip it to it. Then a curves adjustment layer, clip it to it, and add contrast. Then I will apply the layer mask of the lake. Then add another mask and add clouds. Then I will click on Ctrl M for the curves and add contrast to the clouds layer mask. Then I will start increasing and decreasing the opacity till I get a color that's matching with the whole artwork. In this case, I will use a hue and saturation adjustment layer set to color blending mode. Then I will give it a yellowish color like that. That's perfect. Now for the final texture, which is going to be that grass, I will click 2 times to use the blend if on the blue channel. Then I will take that arrow from the right side and take it to the left side till I only have the grass like that. Then I will cover it to smart object. Then I will rasterize it. Ctrl A to select the canvas, Ctrl C to copy it. Then I will apply it paste it on the artwork. Then I will choose a place for that grass, just like that. Then I will duplicate it multiple times to get more grasses on different areas. Then I will duplicate the layer of the grass by clicking on Ctrl J. I will select one area of the grass, then click Ctrl T and flip on the vertical line or the vertical side and put it right beneath that grass so it's connecting like that. I will do the same for the other areas. Now with a soft brush, click on Q to enter the standard mode. I will paint on the bottom areas of the grasses. Then I will click on Ctrl I to invert the selection, then Q to exit the standard mode. Then I will go to Filter, Blur, and I will click on the Motion Blur and give it motion. While the selection is still active, go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and apply the technique that we used it in the first video of this series of the water reflection. Add a lot of contrast to that layer, then add hue, then add exposure, and then add offset. Turn that layer of the grass reflection from normal to lighten. Then make sure to give it more light. Then the rest is going to be just matching the color and the lighting with the whole environment. Now this is before and this is after. This is it for today's tutorial. I hope you got value from this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, show me that by clicking on the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And also don't forget to grab my digital landscape reloaded course. The link is going to be down in the description. And I will see you in the next tutorials. Peace.